The phone buzzed again. Third time in 5 minutes. It was past midnight, and the sound echoed unervingly through the kitchen, bouncing off the glass cabinets like a warning bell. Emily's phone sat face down on the counter, screen lighting up every few seconds. I wasn't supposed to see it. She'd gone upstairs to pack for her conference, humming softly, pretending everything was normal. But normal had been slipping away for weeks. I stared at the glowing screen until it went dark again, then flipped it over. A message preview flashed before it vanished. Can't wait to finally have you to myself tonight, Red Heart. My stomach turned cold. My first thought wasn't even anger, it was disbelief. That stupid kind of disbelief that keeps you hoping the worst thing you saw wasn't real. Tonight. Have you to myself. She said her conference started tomorrow morning. I heard footsteps upstairs. My hand shook slightly as I put the phone back, face down exactly how she'd left it. I didn't want her to know. Not yet. I wasn't ready to confront, not ready to lose everything, not ready to hear the truth I already knew. When she came downstairs, suitcase in hand, she looked radiant. Casual but careful. Hair done, a touch of lipstick, the red one she never wore for me anymore. "You're up," she said lightly, her smile just a little too controlled. "Couldn't sleep." "Yeah," I said. "Just had some coffee earlier. You sure you don't want me to drive you?" "It's late." She hesitated. No, I'll be fine. Hotel's only an hour away." She leaned in, kissed my cheek. It felt like air brushing skin. No warmth, no love. "Don't wait up." I nodded, letting her go. But as the door closed behind her, something inside me snapped taut. Not rage, not yet, but a quiet, focused resolve. I didn't want a screaming match. I wanted truth. And I wanted to hear it from her mouth. I grabbed my keys. The hotel was one of those sleek business places off the highway. Mirrored windows, buzzing neon sign. I parked across the lot, lights off, and waited. At 1:10 a.m., her car rolled in. A few minutes later, a black SUV pulled up beside it. A man stepped out, tall, sharp suit, probably mid-30s. I recognized him instantly, Mark. Her coworker. The project manager she'd mentioned a dozen times over dinner, always so casually. She laughed when she saw him, the kind of laugh I hadn't heard in months. They walked inside together. Her hand brushed his arm. I sat in silence, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles whitened. Every memory, every soft apology, every "I'm just tired lately," burned through my chest like acid. I should have left then. Driven home, packed her things, spared myself the humiliation. But I couldn't. I needed to see how far she'd go. Needed to know what kind of stranger I'd been sleeping beside for 3 years. I waited 15 minutes, then walked into the lobby. The clerk barely looked up when I asked for a duplicate room key. I told him I'd lost mine. Gave Emily's room number from the hotel text she'd forwarded earlier that day, the one about conference bookings. He smiled and handed it over. Room 217. The hallway smelled like cheap perfume and air freshener. My pulse pounded in my ears as I stopped outside the door. Muffled laughter came from inside. Her laugh, his voice, soft music playing. I stood there for a moment that felt like an hour. Then I knocked. The sound silenced everything inside. I heard movement, whispers, a hurried shuffle. The door opened slightly. She appeared, hair tousled, eyes wide. Her lipstick smeared faintly. "Daniel," she gasped. "What are you?" "Forgot to say goodbye," I said calmly, forcing a smile. She blinked. "You shouldn't be here." "I know. But I was worried. Thought I'd come make sure you were safe." I let my eyes flick past her shoulder, to the rumpled bed, the half-poured wine glasses. Behind her, Mark froze, shirt unbuttoned halfway. It was like watching a movie I never auditioned for. She stepped into the hall, closing the door behind her quickly. "This isn't what it looks like," she whispered. "Then what is it?" I asked softly. "A late-night team-building exercise?" Her lips parted but no sound came out. For a moment, I almost pitied her. She looked terrified, guilty, and small, like a child caught lying. And that's when I said it. The thing that changed everything. I know you weren't coming here for work, Emily, I said. But before you lie again, you should know, I sent your boss an email this afternoon. I told him you weren't attending any conference this weekend. That you'd taken time off. Her eyes widened, face draining of color. I don't understand, she stammered. Mark, I called over her shoulder. You might want to know your company now has a copy of all the hotel bookings under your name, including tonight's reservation. He appeared in the doorway, panic flickering in his eyes. What the hell did you do? Nothing, I said. Just made sure there were no misunderstandings. Emily turned toward him. Mark. But he was already grabbing his jacket. You're insane, he muttered at me, then to her. We're done. You hear me? Done. He brushed past, storming down the hall. And suddenly it was just us. Her composure crumbled. Tears welled, her voice breaking. Daniel, please. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. Didn't mean to. You lied. For weeks. You looked me in the eye every morning and called it love. I was lonely, she whispered. You were always distant. I didn't feel seen anymore. I looked at her, the woman I'd loved, defended, dreamed with, and realized she was right about one thing. I had been distant. But distance isn't betrayal. Distance is space. Betrayal is a choice. Go back inside, I said finally, stepping back. You don't owe me anything else. Just don't come home. Her tears streamed freely now. Daniel, please. I loved you, I said, voice low. And that's exactly why I'm walking away before I hate you. I turned, leaving her standing there under the harsh fluorescent lights, trembling, broken, whispering my name into the empty corridor. The night air hit cold and sharp as I stepped outside. I got in my car, sat there for a long while, just breathing. When I finally started the engine, I glanced once more at the hotel through the windshield. A curtain shifted, her silhouette framed against the light. I didn't feel victory, just silence. The kind that comes after something shatters and you realize no one can put it back together. She would tell herself stories. That I overreacted, that it was just a mistake, that she'd been confused. But I knew better. Some betrayals don't end with screams. They end with quiet goodbyes and the echo of what used to be love, fading into nothing.